We're live once again for the weekly segment of my random ass podcast to see where my mind goes and what is going on in there. Most of the time, I don't even know what is going on, but it happens. It is what it is. It does make sense to me, and I don't know why my phone is being so damn stupid right now. So it is not working. I am not getting certain posts and certain things to go through, but yet I have internet connection here, and my phone decides that I don't want to have internet connection there. And now suddenly the posts are going through, and we can get on with this regularly scheduled program. Unfortunately, right now, I forgot to go grab more fluids, so I only have my one thing of water. I don't even have my normal Pepsi or Mountain Dew, which kind of sucks and is a little weird. I probably should have woken up a little bit sooner from my nap because I'm old and I need the nap to re energize because I have been. What's going on, Juicy? Juicy's always on these things. Him and the boys from Evil Shadows who are playing here in, what's that, 2 weeks from now? Coming up on 2 weeks. January 27th at Gray's Keg, which is always a fun time and a great place. And every time that I go there, I always get mistaken as a member of one of the bands, even though my band is not playing, nor has the band that I'm technically still in done anything in, let's see, oh, 8 years? 8 years. But we are still technically a band because we never actually made a post saying we are no longer in a band and we are still active. I'm working on trying to come out. I can't make any promises or guarantees because one, it is fucking January in Nebraska and no one knows what the fuck is going on there because it's January in Nebraska. I mean, right now it is so fucking cold outside. I don't even have frost on my windshield, which to me is very alarming and concerning because of it being that damn cold. Well, I'm glad somebody can feel me because I sure can't feel my fucking toes, my nose. I know it's bad when my beard is freezing from when I walk from my front door 10 feet to my van so I can go to work and my beard's already crispy and all I'm doing is breathing. So we all know that's a bad sign. I also know coming up in February in like the Lincoln area, there's the Lincoln Exposed, which has an unfathomable amount of bands on that bill. I think last year was like 100 and 120, 100. It was some ridiculous amount at 5 venues throughout the O Street of Lincoln. I know there's stuff going on at the Swamp. I know, yeah, there is stuff going all over the place. And I've been seeing a lot of these bigger shows popping up in the Wichita, Kansas area as well. So hopefully my kids will let me leave for a day or so and go to a concert. I'm already trying to let them get me, or I'm trying to get them to let me out of the house. I feel kidnapped and taken hostage of because, well, let's see. One turns 17 tomorrow. He doesn't hold me near his hostage. And then there's my 14-year-old who holds me hostage against my will. Somebody help me. She won't let me leave and go to concerts because I have to watch. Well, I think I still got to watch the Sonic Prime with her, or Sonic Prism. Sonic Prism, which is actually a cool series on Netflix that she got me into watching. I'm pretty sure there's going to be a new Demon Slayer season coming out. I don't know. She'll let me know on all those things, and then she'll watch it like 9 fucking times, and then have me watch it with her, and then proceed to tell me, "Ooh, Dad, you're gonna like this part. Ooh, Dad, keep watching right here. This is good part. Dad, 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 can you please just not watch the show like a normal person, or watch it with English dubs, not in whatever language it is from, with English subtitles. I cannot watch and read a fucking movie. It makes my brain hurt and I get lost and can't get caught up. Except it is always funny when you will see the subtitles and And you're gonna be like, "Hadoudah!" And it's, "You have killed my father. My name is Inigo Montoya. You killed my father. Prepare to die," is the whole subtitle. And it's like, or then you get the ones where it's like, fuck you. I know there's more words than just two in there, and I don't think that translation quite fucking works. I know my accents are not politically correct, or probably correct to the area correct. We're not doing politically correct. We're just trying to do correct things, like subtitles on any of the Asian movies that make absolutely no sense because their mouths are still moving and you get two words, or you get two words from their mouth moving and you get a fucking paragraph of shit that you have to try to read in zero point 0.8 seconds before it clicks into the next thing. And you can't keep up and you're like, hang on, I gotta pause this movie. So I spend more time pausing and reading movies, and no, fuck that. I don't do that. If I want to sit down and watch a movie, I want to watch a movie and be able to listen so then I know what is actually being said and what is going on at that moment in time. Also, with all this snow on the ground, it is an unpopular opinion because I keep seeing this pop up on Facebook, and I think it is so very true. Unpopular opinion: when you see teens, when you see teens doing donuts in empty parking lots, let them. There is no better way to learn how to control and correct a car sliding in snow than practicing sliding in the snow. Donuts are teaching them to control their sliding car, even if they don't realize it. Better an empty parking lot than on a busy road. That is so very true. Plus, all of you people out there who were once these wild, reckless teenagers. Some of us just got older. Our mentality hasn't fucking changed one bit. But who used to be these reckless teenagers who are now being these uptight with a stick in your ass adults. Remember who you used to be and how you used to be, and grow the fuck up and get over it. Let them be. If my kid wants to go do don't like my kid was notorious. My oldest would yell at me nonstop because we would be driving. I'm like, "Oh, parking lot, snow on the ground," and we would veer into the parking lot, do a couple donuts, get right back on the street. And she goes, "Why are you doing this?" Because one, they're donuts in an empty fucking parking lot that hasn't been had any donuts in it, and I'm the first one to do it. So there's that. And two, they're donuts on snow in a parking lot. There's nothing for me to fucking hit in the middle of the parking lot unless I'm doing like 47 donuts and I'm not paying attention to what I'm doing. But by then, you're getting so motion sickness and everything like that, you're going to be throwing up anyways. It's not going to be a good sign. So you might as well just go do some donuts. And it's always funny when adults who used to be these crazy ass children get all uptightity and hippity hippity in their, yeah. I am not that adult. Like anybody that's tuned into my podcast knows that if I see one of my kids walking through the kitchen, I'm over here hooting and hollering at them. I've made some comments. I will say anything just to get them to make a noise, which usually seems to work. All I got to do is say, I got a whole head full of hair. And then I hear, yeah, right, under their breath. So if that says anything, but obviously I haven't grown up. I mean, look behind me. We got Harry Potter. We've got Harry Potter stuff. We've got goofy ass everything. We got concert posters, Fairy Tale, Terminator, G.I. Joe. What the hell else did I got back there? Skeleton dinosaur thing, Mr. Incredible, an Among Us character. I mean, I am not growing up to act my age because I am a fucking Toys R Us kid. And I don't care if it closed down like 8 years ago. I'm a Toys R Us kid, and they said I don't have to grow up, so I am not growing up ever, ever, ever. Because, well, it sucks growing up and being an adult. Because then your whole body hurts, your knees are shot, your ankles hurt, your feet hurt all the damn time, your shoulder gets dislocated, you got to carry in a 970,000 pound fucking guitar cab because that gives you your best sound. You can't be like cool and just have all your tones in a pedal board and walk in and go, all right. Or like a vocalist, we're like, wait, actually, it's not a guitar cab. It's always a fucking bass cab. The bass cab is always the one that weighs like 800 pounds. It takes 9 people to move this thing in with a fucking winch and everything like that. Toys R Us is making a comeback? Somebody got a hold of some like necromancer and bringing them back from the dead. This is awesome. I need to look this up. I am excited. Other than the price of Toys R Us, you'd go there as a kid and you're like, oh, this is the coolest thing. And then you go there as an adult and you look at the prices and you're like, oh, this shit's expensive. No wonder I wasn't allowed to buy anything. I will Google that after this. But yeah, I'm actually intrigued now that Toys R Us is making a comeback. I mean, it is 2024, so sometimes you're gonna see interesting things like that. What's up? I know that the other guy that just got on here is Sonny B's dad, who is going to be at also the Battle of the Bands this weekend, Friday and Saturday. Hopefully Saturday, but definitely Friday at the Grace Keg in Lincoln, Nebraska. So best of luck to Sonny. I haven't heard of any of the other bands on that bill, so that's going to be an interesting shindig for sure. Hopefully, there's a lot of these that I'm wanting to make. There's also a oh, that one was interesting. That one tasted like the spaghetti I had earlier. Spaghetti. What are you doing on my bed? Don't be doing anything on there. The advantage of having cats. They will just kind of walk around, start doing stuff like they did something, and now I'm concerned of if I have to go do laundry tonight or not. Pain in the ass cat. But he did end up kind of hanging out on me while I decided to take my nap and crush my chest. I love my fat 30-pound cat. If he was yellow and orange, it would remind me of Garfield. But he's like solid black, and we got him on Friday the 13th during a full moon. So obviously, there is no superstition on me because he's out of the two cats that I've actually owned in my entire life. Both of them have been black cats. So apparently, I've got this thing for having black cats. Either A, I've got a death wish because when he runs down the stairs, I can't fucking see him. Our road was closed for 4 days. Oh, I bet you're out in like rural Kansas. You should be glad that they even found your road and just didn't make a new one in the process. I know Friday I was getting ready to make my trek from where I live to work, and it's about 8:15. I've already got my vehicle warmed up. I see the 3 foot tall drift, and I'm like, okay, I'm gonna attempt to make it into work. If I at least get out to Walmart, then I can determine where the road, how the roads are, and if I can make it to work. By the time I'm getting ready to go, my boss sends me a message. No work today. So I'm not sure if he's like shorthanding, like, we have no work today. No work today. Like, are you coming in? I don't know where this is going. But then my lead man, who also lives in the same town as me, is sent Sonny to get you. Well, I ended up having a I have I've been at my house for just over 4 years and I drive every day 30 minutes to work. And I will make some of the craziest treks. I think last year I had one, maybe two snow days, if that all year. This year I had two snow days in the same week. One of them I might have been able to make it in, but it was blizzard like conditions. And when you look at the weather apps and it goes, do not drive unless it's an emergency. And then, is it really an emergency? Kind of made me realize I should probably keep my ass home. And then I called into work and I went and took a nap because it was like 8 o'clock in the morning. And that's what responsible adults whose children don't have to go to school do. They wake up, call work, tell them they're not going to make it in, and go to bed. Because I woke up at my normal time. Because if you don't wake up at your normal time, you're going to oversleep and you're going to miss the entire time. And then you've got to attempt to make that brutal drive. So I decided to be an adult. I had 2 days off last week, and everybody's like, "Well, are you coming in on?" Oh, I think it was like Thursday. I said, "If it or no, it was Wednesday. It's the day back from the snowstorm. If my exact response was, it's supposed to get worse this week. I go, if it snows and there is snow on the ground. Granted, we have like 6 inches of snow, anyways. If there's snow on the ground, I'm not coming in. I'm staying home. Well, it comes to find out, Friday I had a 3-day weekend. It was kind of nice. I got, oh, and I did something that no, well, most parents, when there's mother and father, father and father, mother and mother, whichever ordinance that you're going in, I'm using those three because I'm not going into the other massive group. But when you have mother and father, father and father, and mother, it is very rarely in the same weekend, all the dishes will be done and all the clothes will be cleaned, folded, and put away. I'm a single parent and I managed on doing that. It is probably the first time in God knows how long that I have ever accomplished both of those. The only dishes that were left in the sink Friday or Sunday night when I went to bed was what we had supper on. I didn't get those ones done because I was already fucking tired and I didn't want to do anything more after that. So it only happens very, very rarely. I think that's the only time. And then I told all the kids that all the laundry was full. And they're like, "You mean all of it, or just this is what you're doing?" I was like, "No, I went down and got all of it because I'm notorious. I will go down and grab, like, I will do all the laundry and then I just leave it in the containers in the basement and I don't bring it up because shit, I gotta walk upstairs with all the laundry, and then I gotta fold it, and then I gotta tell them to put it away. But I got all of it taken care of. I was very proud of myself. And it's something that never happens. And then a couple of the ladies at work, they made a comment about how my weekend was, and I commented on it all proudly, and they're like, "Ooh, very nice," and they gave me a high five. So I was very proud of myself. It doesn't happen very often. And then I also ended up having, let's see, all my videos Monday, Tuesday, and the only videos that I am missing are Wednesday, Thursday, Friday at 11:30 in the afternoon. Those are usually my reaction review videos. But everything else, and I've been going through my hard drive lately. That's why I haven't really been going to shows. And I realize I have about 40 hours of gameplay from one video or from one game that I found stashed in my hard drive because the way that I label everything, I am like amazing at my labeling process. Photo dump AA, photo dump AAA, photo dump AAAA, A, photo dump 123. So I usually don't have a clue what I'm photo dumping in it because it's usually spur of the moment. I got to get these things on there and then I'll figure out where I put them later. I'm notorious for that. And I've been going through, I found like 40 hours of gameplay videos. Uh, one of these games was played about 2 years ago when I was getting ready for back surgery because I couldn't really do anything. So I just laid around and shot reaction review videos and played Days Gone. So, well, I understand why they're yelling at you. I mean, you have kids, have them do some stuff. It builds character, as my parents told me. I'm trying to figure out how many characters I decided to build in the process because we've got the regular name me that hardly anybody ever calls. And when I hear that name, it's either one, my parents, two, my grandparents, three, the court system. Yeah, that pretty much sums it up on who uses the real name. And then there's Hippie, and then there's Redbeard, and then there's Redbeard the Hippie, and then there's some of these other crazy ones inside there that are bouncing around all over the place. Huh. I'm kind of intrigued on who is calling me all of a sudden. Hello? Hello? What's up? Hippie. Hi, the Joker Gamer. What? I'm being harassed on the phone. I got to get back to my live stream. Crazy the amount of people that are call that I know. Joker Gamer ended up calling me in the process of doing my live stream and made a comment. So Always interesting on, let's see, what all do I got going on here? Oh, that's my goofy ass post to getting a million view or million comments. Reason reason I did the comment about the million comments was mainly for, I was doing an experiment for social media to see how much Facebook pays for comments. At 1,000 comments, I made like 20 some cents off of it. A little disturbing. But at the same point in time, I think it's hilarious because people just want to see me take a pie to the face from the kids. So they're still commenting on it. I'm pretty sure it's going to make it at some point in time. It's like 1,300. I know, I saw that one. It kind of got lost in there because I was trying to keep up with it. And then I decided to play a video game. And you can't really play a video game and keep liking Facebook posts because I don't have enough hands and I'm not skilled enough to try to use other parts of my body to hit the like button and scroll. It makes things a little more complicated. Man, my phone's being all kinds of interesting. I got Snapchat now going off. Keep in mind, I do have Snapchat, but I only use it for one purpose and one purpose only. And no, it's not to get pussy like what most of the people use Snapchat for, because it'll vanish your conversations and you don't have to actually pay attention to what the person's saying. But I can't do that because once the conversation vanishes, I don't remember what the fuck we were talking about 10 minutes ago or 45 minutes ago or 3 fucking hours later. I can't remember what the conversation is. There's already been too many going through my mind, and I don't remember exactly what was going on in the first goddamn place. Oh, but with a Snapchat, I only use it solely for talking to my daughter while she's home and I'm at work. Needless to say, she uses it a whole bunch, and I have no fucking clue to how to use it. I will send messages and then get K. Come on, kid. Help me out here. Give me a little more information than K. Like one letter. Awesome. I don't know how many adults that pisses off where you can tell when you fucked up and crossed the line, especially when you're like with like you're dating somebody, is when they send back K and the Joker gamer's being a smartass. I can do this too. See, I can type in here. Oh wait, hang on. I better pay attention to what I write on there. Because if you type in too many K's, then it goes into like really bad things. And then it's all racial intuitions and shit like that. And people don't want to get into that. Kind of like the other day when I was sitting on the toilet at work, and I'm not one to promote racism or racial slang or slander. I mean, I know most all of them because, well, I grew up in the 90s and early 2000s. We knew all of those inappropriate words. But I log in, like I'm in the bathroom and I look over and somebody had already vandalized on there, uh, happy hump day. And then somebody put in the N word. Well, you're not supposed to vandalize anything at work, but I took my knife and decided to scrape the N word and the whole part of that off of there because I think that is inappropriate, especially when I think there's only, oh, I think there might be like maybe at most 5 black guys in the entire shop. Granted, most of the group that I work with, they're either one white, and the part that you have to make sure that you know is if they're Vietnamese, like if they're Vietnamese or Laotian, because do not call one the other. They do not like it. They get pissed off, and I got lectured in 2 different fucking languages one time because I made that mistake. But I did learn. We're all making comments now. Yeah, my Facebook post is being quite interesting because I did post that, but then I also had a friend, uh, Mox, posted about back in the day with the Jägermeister and this cool Jaeger uh pouring lid where the Jaeger would come out of the deer's mouth, and they made about a comment about Noise Fest days, which I do miss. Some of those I do miss the memory of because that was so long ago. But at the same point in time, try a Jaeger death shot. It's where you pour out a Jaeger shot onto the counter and then you proceed to inhale the Jägermeister. This is not for the faint of heart or the young kids. This will probably kill you, youngins, because that is a brutal fucking shot. I've been able to do one, and then I was fucked up the rest of the night because all the fumes go to your head. And you got to make sure you clean the counter too before that. But a counter at a house party back in the day, being clean, yeah, right. You were lucky we could find a counter half the time. And not for that reason either. Oh, good lord. And we've been on here 30 minutes and let's see. The Joker hey, he's spelling stuff out. All right, look at him go. Go check out the Joker Gamer. I have not been able to go check out his site on his newest one or his newest couple of videos yet. I need to get on there and check them out, but I've also been having all kinds of different social media things blowing up because I've been having artists asking me for reaction review videos. I'm trying to get them shot as fast as I possibly can. There are certain days where I find when I do a reaction review video, I have to be awake and feeling it to be able to do the reaction review video. If I'm tired or extremely exhausted, then I feel that it's going to take away from what I need to be doing on those. So I've been getting a lot of reactions on those. I made a post a while back about different bands and artists, and I've been trying to work my way through that one as well to be able to do reaction review videos for. And then also lately, I've been getting some quite interesting posts on finding out about some certain things. But until I dig a little bit more deeper into those things, some things do not need to. Well, I know I've been busy and I got tired and I've shit. Here's for one of my edits for my gaming videos. I still have an 8 hour and 20-minute video game or one to edit, 7 hours and 39 minutes to edit, 6 hours and 30 minutes to edit. I also realized that I need to stop shooting such long gaming videos and break them up into more manageable time frames. Let's see, 8 hours and 27, 8 hours and 4 minutes, and then like 3 hours. So there's like 40 hours of games there. I got housework. I know there's a lot of stuff that I'm trying to get done, and I am only one human being. Well, I think I'm human, possibly part machine, possibly everything else. But back to the things that I'm finding that are interesting that I've got people sending me. I'm not going to indulge into them until I find out more. But let's put it this way: it's kind of something a little interesting. So when I find out more information, depending on where the severity of those things are, depends on what I say about it and if I bring it to people's attention or if I just sweep it under the rug. Because sometimes not giving people the benefit of certain things and making things public does way more to them because either A, you're not giving into the acknowledgement of it, or B, you just don't fucking care enough. And sometimes, unfortunately, people want to get on there on social media and battle things out, which one, I'm too fucking old and tired to battle people on social media. And two, I don't have time to battle people on social media. If I want to battle, I'll just go deal with my children. I'll tell them no more pop in the house or something like that. If I want to have a fight on my hands, there we go. Plus, I spent my like early 20s all pissed off and angry and taking on every fucking battle and fight, not caring what it was or what it was about. If you pissed my friend off, I was going after you. And I did that numerous times and it did not come out. Well, my birthday's coming up, but my kid turns 17 tomorrow. So there'll probably be a post about that because, well, I got to figure out what we're doing for his birthday. I've been talking with his mom about trying to plan something out. So we're going to see how the weather and plans and all that shit go. So it's going to be interesting. But also, what I'm in the process of doing, well, I am going to be taking him It's not part of his birthday, but we're kind of wrapping it in there. Is he's going to go see Lamb of God and Pantera for his first major concert. He's been to other concerts that I can get him into at bars because, well, sometimes depending on the area, depends on how much pull his old man has. And there's certain venues in certain areas that I can get him into without any fucking problem. People are just like, "You're hippies kid? All right, cool. Come on in. We're the band." I ended up losing him at one of them, and I was looking around. Everybody's, "What are you looking for?" I was like, "Where the fuck my kid go?" I was like, "He's wearing a blue Oh, there he is. He's over there on his phone in the corner." But taking him to that one, I've been in contact with the venue trying to figure out what it takes to get a media pass. They're not sure if they're doing media passes for this show, so I'm still working. I'm sending out. I figure if I sit there and I make every attempt to be able to get a media pass to try to be able to interview a couple of those bands, if I put in all the legwork that I can to be able to do this and it doesn't work out, then hey, cool. I tried. I can sit there and honestly say, okay, I gave it my best shot. I tried to get these things. It just wasn't in the line work for that moment in time. So, but at least I tried versus sitting around going, man, I really hope I could interview them and not message bands and not call the venue and not find out what it the press how to get a press package or a press pass or a media pass or any of those things. And comes to find out, you have to be one of the biggest things that I'm running into is you have to be associated with radio stations, like not the underground radio stations. Those are all awesome because they're all playing the underground music, but you have to be like mainstream radio station, like big name that plays on the actual like car radio that you don't have your phone jacked into and everything like that, like an actual radio station. And I don't have ties to those. And then they're like, unless you're like with the newspaper, I'm not with a fucking newspaper. I do all this stuff on my own. I'm not backed by anybody. Or if you're backed by a magazine, which I do have a couple of them that I'm messaging back and forth with that I got to do a little more looking into. There's one, uh, it's like 7, 8. Fuck, what is it? Ah, hell, I can't remember what it is. Uh, I can't fully remember what it is, but I've been in contacts with them. So I don't know if that's going. Well, I know I'm the media to you guys. I don't, but like also with this one, it's not like contacting the venue and they're like, oh, yeah, we know who you are. We'll give you a media pass. You give them all your information, and then they send all your information to like the tour group thing, and then they determine if you get the pass. So we have a couple different options, and my son knows about it. And I flat told my job that this is what I am going to be doing because my boss is also going to the concert with his stepkid. But it's hilarious because I'm like, I'm doing, and he's like, well, what time are you planning on leaving? I was like, dude, I'm fucking taking off the whole 14th. Like, I don't have any significant other. Like, I can just give my kids some candy and be like, here you go. Happy Valentine's Day and take off there. I go, there's two methods. If we don't get the media pass, we're doing old school fucking method. And all the old guys that have been around the scene for a long time know this second old school method. You get to the venue really fucking early, and then you try to see if you can catch one of the guys when they come off the bus and see if you can try to set up the interview. It's how we used to always meet bands back in the day. So I figured, fuck it, it's worth a shot. What's the worst that's gonna happen? I gave every attempt that I possibly can, and it doesn't fucking work. It is what it is. And at that point in time, I did everything that I could, and I'm still covering the underground scene because, dude, I got nothing but love for those guys. All the bands that I cover, all the ones I'm looking at covering, all the reaction review videos, because the last two reaction review videos I did were actually really fucking cool. If you haven't checked them out, you probably should. One of the bands comes to find out I made a comment about a band called Decimation from Manhattan, Kansas back in the day. I did a I think I did a couple shows with that band. Brutal, brutal fucking death metal band. Like awesome, brutal death metal band. I made a comment that I haven't heard a band that brutal and that heavy since Decimation. Comes to find out, their drummer was in fucking Decimation, and I didn't even know that. So the fact that I made that reference and that connection was actually quite funny and interesting. So let's see. Huh. Okay. I got different messages between all the social medias and just the actual text messages. We just got to get you there. Is the fan's job. Well, see, that's the cool thing is when it comes to like mainstream and things like that, I have oh like I tried to explain to my parents there is a certain it's about how you present yourself, and I've always been kind of a pushback guy like ask work. Work flat said that I am not allowed to have an email address because of how I act and how crazy I am. They hired me. I want that to be known. It is not my fault. I am this way. Okay, it's like 60% my fault that I am the way that I am. I could take credit for about 60. At least 60. But like there's a certain way that you hold yourself and a way that you walk and a level of confidence. And some people are like when you're trying to sneak backstage, you got to have this like level of confidence. Granted, this is the Pinnacle Bank Arena in Lincoln, Kansas. Maybe giving them some shout outs might help. I don't know. We're trying everything we can. Hell, I'm almost to the point of making some reels and trying to like tag the bands and see if that'll work. I don't know. I'm at about every I figure if I run out of ideas on how to promote myself to these bands, then obviously I'm doing something right, or I'm running out of ideas and I need to look at social media to figure out new ideas. But I'm going to continue to cover the local scene and the underground scene everywhere. There we go. New goal for this year. I'm gonna need to write that down. I do 50 reaction review videos, one from each goddamn state for underground bands. That'd be a thing. Wait, the United States still at 50, 50 states, or did we like add some states and do some other things like that, like add states, put in Guam, add like two other fucking countries from Europe or something. I don't know what we're up to. It used to be 50. I can't remember if it changed or not. I mean, I would say that that's not a thing that they would change, but they changed how the fuck to do math. So, I don't know. They have this like you take this number, and you take this number, and you add these numbers, and you do this, and you do this, and you like 47 fucking steps. And oh, he remembers when my birthday is April 27th. I will be turning 40. Now, the new question is what do I do for my 40th birthday? Do I go out and party it up? Probably not. But we are going to be going and drinking with my soon to be 21-year-old who turns 21 in March. So the goal is to at least go out and drink with her. The original goal was I was going to out drink her, and the more that I realized that I don't drink anymore, and the amount of time that I would have to take off to have hangover recovery time would probably fucking kill me. And I don't feel like dying right before my 40th birthday to prove the point to my 21-year-old that I can still out drink her. So, but 40th birthday, got to figure out what we're doing. I've kind of kicked around the idea of maybe doing a concert, going to some shows. There's all kinds of concerts going on that day. One of the ongoing jokes is when I turn 40, I need to get snippy snipped. So there's no more little me's running around. I love my kids to death, even if times I want to smother them with a pillow. Love my kids to death. Do not want to start over at 40 with a brand new baby because I'm already giving my other friend that I've been friends with since second grade. He's got a 2-year old and he turns 40 this year. And I've got a couple other friends that have like small children at 40. And I'm like, you know what? Having kids is like a prison sentence. You got to serve 18 years minimum. obviously it's a life sentence because you're going to be there for well, most people. There are those people out there who are like, I miss my kids, but you never make the fucking effort to see them, and you're those douchebag dads. I get certain circumstances where you're not allowed to be around your kids. I get all that stuff, but there's those people that honestly left their kids and then they're complaining because their kids don't want to see them anymore because they fucking hate them. I know some people like that. I've got a few people that I don't associate with anymore because of things like that, and I lost a lot of respect for them. But on a side note, I don't want to start over at 40 and reset that timer when technically I only have about 3.5 years left of my sentence, and then I get to go on probation. I'm already on probation with one. I can still come and go with her, and I can leave, and I can go do my own thing, and she does her thing. And the only time she calls for dad is, "Hey, dad, it's snowing outside." Yeah, should I go to school? No, do not go to school. Well, you're at work. Well, that's because when I went to work, there was no fucking snow on the ground. It didn't start for 4 hours until I got here or after I got here. And now there's like 6 inches of snow on the ground. I got to attempt to drive home. Well, I went to school today. Little road rager, just like her dad. But like with her, it's probation. I've got 1 year with my boy, and then I'm on probation with him. He can go do his thing. I can go do my thing. It doesn't really there's still the parental responsibility, but there's not near as much parental responsibility. Like he's an adult. Like I am an adult because adulting, no, that doesn't get the quotation. Adulting sucks, but being an adult is something you have to do throughout the time and the effects of everything like that. With my youngest, I have 3.5 years of hard sentence until I go on probation for that one. And then I'm free to come and go and do whatever I want. So if I want every weekend for an entire month where I want to go do concerts, I don't have the parental responsibilities. Like, just look, you guys are fine being here. Don't eat all my food. Don't drink all my goddamn pop, and don't burn the house down. Can we have friends over? Depends who it is. But most of your friends, well, actually, most of their friends I actually like. Huh. Now that brings it into a new understanding and question. How many of my friends in high school was I that friend that their parents couldn't fucking stand? Not sure if there was any, but I do know there was quite a few of them where they would ask me, "Hey, are you going to be smoking?" Yes. Are you going to be drinking? Maybe. Are you going to be doing drugs? No. You're not doing drugs? No, I'm already on them. Are you going to let my kid do those? No. Okay. You're fine to go with them. So I was that kid. Apparently, I was the good influence. I was the good kid, but I was the bad influence. But I made sure my friends didn't, like certain friends didn't do those things because I knew where this road was leading and they didn't need to go down it. Unfortunately, some of them went down that road on their own without my assistance. And then when I quit, when I got clean and all that stuff, they started getting into it. And they're like, we should party sometime. No, you were nuts back then. There's no way I'm partying with you. But oh well, it was fun. It was a wild time while it lasted. Now they're just wild times and I can remember them. That's the great thing. And the head's not all foggy. I don't say dumb. Let me rephrase that. I still say dumb shit. I just remember what dumb shit I actually say. Like like the other day, I realized that I still remember the song lyrics to a song that I haven't sang in 8 years. And I remember almost the entire thing. There's a couple spots where I'm a little iffy on it, but it's also one of the more fast-paced songs that I ever did. Unfortunately, I did not write this. Jay, the former vocalist of Swept Aside, wrote it and has since unfortunately passed away. And it was one of those songs, it was such a fucking pain in the ass to learn. It wasn't that the lyrics were a pain in the ass to learn, it was the way that his timing was. It was, "This is your doing, my life is now ruined, the past for me will ever last. Look at myself from within, I knew I'd see it again." Yeah, and keep in mind it was in a more metal voice, and let's see if we can actually do it. Huh. Nah, fuck it, we're not doing it. I'm not in the mood. The vocal cords are a little sore because of all the yakking and talking and everything. But maybe someday I will get back on stage in the Nebraska scene, and you're gonna all see what my vocal styles are. Keep in mind, it's aggressive, usually pissed off. My influences for my music style of the way that I did my vocals were Phil Anselmo, Randy Bly, and Corey Taylor, mixed with Minister Roach from Low Gear, and big with the pitch changes and everything like that, going from low growls to highs and everything in between. And Lynn Straight from Snot would be my top 5 vocal influences, which ear pipes. But there is footage on my channel of me doing some of it. Unfortunately, the one when I did fuck around and find out with Diabolic Orange Monkey, everybody decided to be right up front next to the speakers when they recorded it, so I couldn't make out what the fuck I was saying. But it was obviously impressive enough that it made the bass player not remember where in the song he was, and the vocalist was impressed too. So, and it and actually, it come to think of it, it actually impressed most of the people anytime that I go places because for some reason, I don't look like a metal vocalist. I mean, okay. Granted, I was a metal vocalist before I became a photographer and a videographer and a interviewer and the media for Nebraska and Lincoln. No, I would say you're more like a punkish punk pop somewhere in their style mixed with like yeah, definitely punk or pop or pop punk. Not pop music. I don't see you doing like Boys to Men dance routines up there. I mean, that would be funny as hell. Do a punk cover or a punk style of Bye 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 by Instinct or whatever that band is. I think that was Instinct that did Bye Bye Bye. I mean, Children of Bodom did Britney Spears Oops I Did It Again. They said that was the most challenging thing that they ever did because how do you create a song with that is up to your wife if that happens. Yeah, nothing like a female singing a song about "Hit Me, Baby, One More Time" about promoting domestic violence and domestic abuse. Like it wasn't like until later on when you realize it, like you hit me, baby, one more time. Are you into that? Like, I'm starting to kind of wonder. It's she's gone off the fucking deep end. Somebody needs to go check on Brittany and see if her meds are in order. I get doing crazy shit. Trust me, I get doing crazy shit. I'm still doing crazy shit. But things that I am not going to do and post to social media is me dancing around with knives with cut marks on my arms and abdomen because I accidentally myself. See, so somebody's got to kind of keep an eye on her. Plus, she looked like she was on something because she got bags under her eyes. She looked like she was in bad shape. Somebody go check on Brittany. We need her to be okay, or at least a little more. Yeah, definitely okay. Somebody needs to go check on her mental health. I don't think I could ever date a pop diva. I mean, there's no way I could show up to the award shows. Here's your suit and tie. Fuck you. Here's my kiss my ass jacket with local band on the front. Then I'd have to sit there and figure out which band I've worn to the show, or I'd have to have an area in my closet of like bands that I have promoted on the red carpet, bands I have not promoted on the red carpet. So then I'd have to take the shirt, wear it, and then put it in the band section. Okay, I wore this one. This one's been photographed with me in it. All right, cool. Yeah, no shit. That is scary as hell that Roseanne actually looks better than Madonna. I never thought I would hear that in my lifetime. But Madonna, somebody get her away from the Botox and lip implants and whatever the hell else she is. Like, I get Madonna is a trendsetter and is ahead of the curve on some of the trends, but like the look she's got going for was like early 2000s, woman. You missed it by 2 fucking decades. You crazy kook. But there's also a thing that I realized with my comment about the Cowboys choking worse than a porn star, which that game was fucking hilarious. They got the shit kicked out of them. Don't pay attention to the score. Pay attention to what was going on. The last like 20 points don't count because those were all garbage points in the fourth quarter when they pulled everybody. But the fact that the Texans, another thing that I never thought that I would say, the Texans are the best NFL team in Texas. That is scary to say, and I never thought I would hear the moment. Texans were always kind of like bottom tier, get the shit kicked out of them for the longest time because they were an up and coming franchise. Jamie Lee, what? But they were an up and coming franchise and they just got the shit beat out of them all the time. And now the fact that they actually won a playoff game, which is awesome. The Lions are in it, which is fucking weird. The Chiefs look good, but they were playing in sub frozen weather where they're breaking their fucking helmets, which is how, like, my mom tried getting me to go to that game. She's like, they've got really cheap tickets. I don't give a shit. It's negative 15 here. I can only imagine what it's going to be. And I know the area of Kansas City. There is nothing there breaking the wind. The Chiefs Stadium and the Kansas City Royal Stadium are right next to each other in this big ass open industrial area. There is no buildings around. There is nothing taller. There is nothing breaking any wind. It is middle of fucking nowhere. And I know it was going to be cold. There is no way I'd be standing there like, how you enjoying the game? But then there's also people that were saying their beer was frozen. Well, one, normally I would milk a beer at a game because they're like fucking $15 a piece. But at that point in time, you're going to be chugging the beer because that's the only thing that's going to keep you warm. Also, make sure you take some Goldschlager and Fireball with you. Making for an interesting night. Goldschlager mainly because it is going to keep your ass warm. It's the only thing I ever drank in my entire drinking career that I took a shot of Goldschlager, and then I proceeded to walk home in December with snow on the ground. And I ended up carrying by the end, I was carrying a hoodie, my coat, my leather jacket, and I was wearing like I think another hoodie under it because I walked everywhere, especially if I was drinking. And I had that thing unzipped and I'm carrying around all my clothes and I'm sweating my ass off. And I was not walking at a fast pace because you can only walk so fast when you're so fucked up. There's just certain things that you can and cannot do. Ugh. Water's good. It's really, really good. Pepsi's better, and so is Mountain Dew. But I fucked up and forgot to go grab them, and my kids are not coming down, so I can yell at them to go, "Hey, kids, give me some fucking pop." But uh, I made the trash can. Sign me up for the NBA. Give me $5 million. I'll run up and down a court, put a basketball in a hoop. You need an enforcer? I'll do a Draymond Green. I'll just beat the shit out of people, and I still get paid to be on the team. He's gonna go get me a pop. I think I still have some soda in the house. I don't know. Ooh, what do we got here? Ooh, Crack Mountain. Ooh, that's in April. All right. We got Crack Mountain, which those guys are fucking hilarious and awesome. Riverside Rejects, Constant Revolt, Blowing Chunks, all at the 1867 bar on April 13th. I'm actually interested in that one. I have not seen Blowing Chunks, Riverside Rejects, or Constant Revolt, but Crag Mountain is one band I always like seeing. Those guys put on a hell of a performance, and I think one of the funniest performances that I ever saw was when Crag Mountain played at the Zoo Bar in Lincoln at the Lincoln Exposed, and that was the funniest thing because I was running around with my camera and I was able to actually get a cool shot where you see all the guys from Crag Mountain and it's like everybody with their music their music is not a sitting room style music, and everybody in the photo is sitting down at tables, and it's like this crazy thing. And it was one of the funniest photos. And I told him that I got this picture, and then I sent it to him. Granted, I posted the thing and tagged him, and they thought that was the funniest thing because their music is not like a sitting room. It was like a lounge room style atmosphere and vibe, and then you've got Crack Mountain just fucking destroying shit. Which on my camera bag, I do have the uh dude, that would be awesome. Crack Mountain, those guys are always some of the coolest dudes. And they were one band when I did an interview for, like, their interview was probably one of the most interesting because how they act on stage and the enlightenment that they had in the interview and how they describe their music and discuss their music and how they build it was really a cool insight. So that was one of the more I enjoy doing all the interviews because of the amount of fun that I have. Like Evil Shadows interview is probably one of the funniest ones. Crack Mountain was definitely one of the most enlightening ones because, oh, let's see, their guitar player had disappeared and was muling for the drug cartel and was everywhere with product crammed in his ass. And it was an ongoing theme throughout the thing. Like we'd be talking about musical influences, and the guitar player is now in Amsterdam with drugs. Well, drugs are legal. I would like to go to Amsterdam just for the simple fact of just to see what drugs there are legal, to see how stupid us in the United States are, just to go over there and be like, okay, what is legal here? And what do you classify as drugs? I want to know. Just, I'm not going to try anything. Well, I can't try anything. And if I do try anything, I'm sure as fuck not telling my kids or having any video proof or photo proof of it. Like, I will turn off. That'd be the one time I get fucked up and turn off my phone. Be like, nope, not dealing with anybody. Not saying any dumb shit. Nope. Content may be great, but that will get my ass kicked by my daughter because I made a promise with her. And so far, there's only 4 people that I can break that promise with. And that is Snoop Dogg, Cheech and Chong, Willie Nelson, Snoop, Willie, Cheech and Chong. I think there's one other one in there. I don't know. Dude, Oregon legalized everything. Well, I there's a lot of shit that they've legalized, but they also have some really bad areas to go to. I've seen some of the videos of like the zombie people where they're just so fucked up that they're just all zombified. It is so fucking sad and depressing. And people don't always understand the level that fighting an addiction comes with. Like, I was a heavy drinker, and by heavy drinker means I was going through almost an entire, oh, I think it was like 750 milliliter bottle a night for a long time. So, and basically anything people put in front of me drug related, I'd be like, here, take this. Okay. What was that? Oh, well, we don't know. Oh, okay, cool. Whatever. Here, smoke this. Okay, cool. And so I get that the addiction is a motherfucker trying to get through on any level. So anybody battling with it, give them support, give them help. And it's a fucking nightmare trying to get through, especially when you're trying to kill whatever demon you were trying to drown and now you got to fight it without going through it. It's always a nightmare. And I know plenty of people who've gotten away from the addictions and fight it on a daily basis. Yeah, and I notice it's always interesting when it comes to like the media and everything. They're like, well, if the addiction isn't the problem, it's just how they're dealing with it. Uh, well, seeing how I can go smoke a bowl of pot and get my anxiety and my depression and everything else under control and my ADHD under control, but yet you're going to pump me full of like Adderall and all this other shit that's going to make me go even more far off the deep end. So I think big pharmaceutical might have a hand in feeding into the addiction, like fentanyl. That is one of the nastiest fucking things. Like we call it the breakdancing drug because one of my buddies in Kansas will sit there And he says he'll watch people walk down the street doing the itching thing, and then about 4 hours later they come back and they're doing like this breakdancing thing. They'll be stopping and just fucking Michael Jackson moves, but always watching like how they. Well, you need to take this pill for it. Like I'm notorious, and I pissed off way more doctors. Like, okay, when I had my back injury, they prescribed me gabapentin. Well, I didn't realize what gabapentin actually is. It's a nerve relaxer, which I was like, cool, but I didn't like it because I'd be in my kitchen, and the next thing I know, I'd kind of come to, and I'm sitting at the school getting ready to pick up my kids. And then suddenly I'm at the middle school picking up, like, it was kind of like a, oh, this is not good. And I called them up and they're like, oh, yeah, that's some of the side effects. I was like, then I'm done taking it. Well, you have to wean yourself off of it or it can give you seizures. Okay, so you're going to prescribe me something, not tell me what the fuck it's going to do to me, and then it can cause seizures? Fuck you. I'm not taking this shit. I took it and threw it in the trash. Actually, I think I might have thrown it in the toilet. I don't remember. But I got rid of that shit like quick, fast, and in a hurry. And then after that, anytime they prescribe me something, I went, what are the side effects? What does this do? And then they're like, "Well, we think you should take it." Well, I don't give a shit what you think. I go, "I like the drugs that I," and they're like, "Well, you're an addict and everything like that." And I was like, "Yeah, I may be." But when it came to addiction, it was drugs and alcohol. I was not a pill popper because I liked having the control of knowing what I was doing. Like when it came to booze, like when you're getting to that level where you're like, "Okay, we're at that level. If I keep going, we're going into blackout or we're going to go off the fucking deep end." Like you know where you're at on it. Like have one beer. Oh, cool. Have two beers. All right, cool. All right, three beers. All right, I'm feeling a little so and so. 15 beers later, you're like, okay, I need to go pass the fuck out because I'm either are you going to get blackout and do something stupid or I'm going to go way the fuck off the deep end and do something even dumber. And like with the drugs, you always had a certain level of control, but the prescription pills, there's no fucking control. So, like, they'd sit there and be like, you should take this." Well, what does it do? Well, it does this. What are the side effects? Well, what do you need to know those for? Well, I need to know if what the side effects are if it's something I want to take. Well, we highly recommend you. I go, I don't give a shit what you highly recommend. I've already looked through my file folder. I know what you guys think of me. So you can highly recommend all you want. Doesn't mean I'm going to take the shit. This is blood pressure medicine. Okay, cool. I better take that one. What's it do? It helps regulate your blood pressure. Okay, cool. I can take that one if I fucking remember. Or if, like, there's some of those where the prescription pills, like hydrocodones, like the hydrocodone tins, you get on those and it's like literally a fuck it all. And I understand why they are so addictive for people and it's such a nightmare to get off of them. I did my one script of it when I had, let's see, that was the hernia surgery, was when I got those. Like, obviously, I've had my fair share of few surgeries because I live life on the edge and I do dumb shit. Actually, the hernia surgery was I was picking up a skeleton at work and decided to rip part of my finger off and get a hernia from it. So I got called Herkenut. That was right after I turned 30. Had a gallbladder surgery at 33 and back surgery at like 37. Yeah, yeah, 37. Something like that. I don't know. But it's always interesting because I hit 30 and my check engine light didn't even go on. It just I had every check light go on. I needed all kinds of shit. So I'm worried about what my 40s are gonna bring. I'm gonna pretty sure the knees are the next thing to go. Got a good feeling on that. Well, that's not ever a good thing. I have a good feeling my knees are gonna fuck up and go on me. Disassemble. I'm not trying to disassemble. The ongoing joke when they say that, oh, I'm gonna live life hard, I'm gonna live it to the fullest, and I'm gonna, slide into my coffin with this mangled, decrepit body. That is going to be me. And the goal is when I do finally kick the bucket in like 300 years, because my kids say I'm immortal and I've been alive forever. Like I was the one who killed the dinosaurs. Lovely children I have with their imaginative and creative minds. But when I do finally decide to kick the bucket, because I'm not getting out of this alive, my body is going to be mangled and beat up, and my donate my brain to science. Figure out why I'm this way. Figure out how I'm able to do what I'm able to do, and burn the fire at both ends of the candle at a high rate of flame. Not in a flaming sense, in a flame sense, like fire. Politically correctness may or may not go out the fucking window with me. But at the rate that the world is going, I don't know if I want to live forever. It's already fucking weird as hell out there. Nobody knows anything of what's going on. I realized that I made a comment that I should be able to, I'm going to run for president. And the way that I'm going to run is legalize marijuana and no UAs. Pretty sure Big Pharmaceutical is going to be pissed, but I am going to get the majority of everyone's vote. And I promise to do nothing and accomplish nothing in my tenure. I'm trying to keep away from all the wars and all the dumb shit. I'm not going to take 470 vacations, but I might hit a basketball game. Oh, I remember the Marble Bucks. You rip those off there, and after, oh, what was it? Like you had to have like 10,000, you get an ashtray or like a koozie or. See, that was when you promoted things in the right way. Like, yes, it may kill you, but you will have this ashtray. It may kill you, but you will have this coaster, which my kid made for me and then was yelling at me because I wasn't using my coaster. The members only jacket. Oh, there were so many things that they used to have. Liggett lights. I remember the Liggets. I was paying $1.99 for them. And then when they suddenly went up to the same price as Marlboro, I damn near shit myself because I was like, no, I'm not paying $4 for a Liggett cigarette. And I think now I'm at 4 years without having a cigarette. I do vape, but haven't had a cigarette or a cigar. I kind of miss the cigars. Kind of want one, but it is way too fucking cold to smoke one on my front porch. I would probably be a fucking popsicle by the time I finished it. And I wouldn't have actually finished it. It would just be still lit in my hand, and I would be over there. See, that's where they need to have the anti-smoking commercials. None of this dumb shit about like, oh, you think you're cool because you're doing this, or you think you're this because it's hip, or it's this or that. No, just have like five guys fucking standing outside of a bar, five people standing outside of a bar, freezing their ass off in a snowstorm because it's no smoking inside. See, defer kids from doing it. I used to do the I used to have a pipe too. I had a boss at the record store that I worked at. He was a pipe smoker, and comes to find out, one of my grandparents was a pipe smoker. I've actually seen all my grandpa's old pipes, but yeah, I used to have it like, and this was not a tobacco pipe. This was an actual pipe. Like it had the cool like Sherlock Holmes thing. I just thought it looked cool, and the tobacco smelled good. Actually, come to think of it, one of my kids' great grandparents smokes a pipe. So plus the tobacco smells good. That was always my thing. Like there were certain pipe tobacco that always smells good, and I think it'd be cool to get like a, well, like I never understood the Gandalf one where you got a pipe this fucking long. Like, what the hell's the point? Like, you got to stay way the hell out here. Damn, almost want to. Yeah, that'd be real interesting. Being like, yep, going out for a smoke break. Pack the pipe. They'd probably be trying to figure out what the fuck I'm doing. They'd be like, you're on such a different level. We're just gonna have to UA you anyways. You got a pipe tobacco. I didn't think you smoked anymore. You got a pipe and a pipe tobacco. My daughter'd be yelling at me because I'm using a pipe again. Damn kids. They think they know all the answers. Leave me be. Let me have my one thing that will probably kill me. But I also have my food. And that'll probably kill me with high cholesterol and high blood pressure. But let me have my bacon. Let me be an American. Let me have my cigarettes, my beer, and my bacon for breakfast. Leave me alone. That's what Waffle House needs. They need to have an American breakfast. Just bacon, cigarettes, and beer. Right there. You got to be 21 in order to have this meal. Oh, that'd be interesting at a Waffle House. Waffle House would be the only one crazy enough to do it. I don't think they're gonna be having a Denny's I don't even know if they have Denny's anymore. I kind of miss Denny's, especially when they had those big breakfasts that you could get the baseball cards that were holographs with. I think I still have a few of those. But yeah, the American breakfast, beer, cigarettes, and booze. Oh, doing a song for Alex. All right, I'm gonna have to check out some of these ones. I listened to, I think, like two or three of the other ones that you've done. Oh, oh, I got a reward on one of my video games. One of my games that I only have one phone game, and it's a Magic the Gathering phone game that one of my coworkers, who does not look like somebody who would be into Magic, which is weird coming from me because I know what most of the nerds look like. This dude's a looks like he could be a well, was a bouncer for a while. Does not look like somebody that would be a nerd by any means. He's like, hey, you should play this game. I go, what game's that? He's like, Magic the Gathering. Dude, I play Magic the Gathering. I have my cards. He's like, no, it's on your phone. Can I scan my cards in to be able to use them? Because I've got a whole shitload of them. He goes, no, you can't scan in your cards. Well, that's dumb. Only downfall about getting or being into Magic the Gathering was that was one of the most, I thought drinking and doing drugs is an expensive habit. No, being a fucking nerd is an expensive habit because you gotta get the video games, you gotta get the Magic the Gathering, and you gotta get comic books and movies and anime, and shit's fucking expensive. Then you got all the Comic Cons that are coming up, which is weird because there's one that was canceled that I went to the last couple years. The kids went to the last 3 years, and comes to find out that that Comic Con has been canceled, and they're doing another one, which I have been in contacts with about doing some photos. And it was funny because they're like, we can't really pay anybody. We don't have a budget for that. I was like, not everything you do, you have to get paid for. Sometimes it's the experiences that you get to use. You get to use them as a reference that, hey, I did the photography for this Comic Con. There are some things that are more valuable than money. Not saying that everything's more valuable than money, but when you go to build a resume for like photos and videos, and you have all these things on your resume that you've covered and you've got references and everything, it helps you get into other places. Even though you didn't get paid for it, the experiences that you were able to build from that and the resume that you were able to build helps you out immensely. Let's see. I got to read some of these. I'll have to do play all my songs, playlist. All right. I'll try to make Alex listen to it. He'll be 17. He's a boy. He takes after me and his mother way too much. So I'm not sure how well being able, like, I'd probably have to just like hold him down. Ooh. And tomorrow I shall carry on the age old tradition of there is one day a year you are legally allowed to beat your child. That is being on their birthday. And you're only allowed to give them as many swats as they are old. Sometimes it is a little bit more of a challenge, especially when they fight you, and it takes you the entire day to get the 16 swats in, but you have to be surprising and you have to sneak up on them, which he's not very easy to sneak up on unless he's got headphones on and you're able to get in the door and be able to put the beating on him at that moment in time. It is not the easiest task to ever do. But seeing how it is 7:20 and I've been on this for a little while, I've got a few things I've got to do before I get ready for bed. So I am going to go ahead and conclude this. I need to check out the Joker Gamer, get a couple things posted for tomorrow, and just kind of go from there and see where things go. So thank you for tuning in, everybody. And thank you for spending the last hour and almost 15 minutes with me. And also make sure you check out Evil Shadows at and Gravestone and the third band on there. Starts with an M. Mullum. Come see Gravestone, Mullum, and Evil Shadows January 27th at Gray's Keg. Gray's Keg is an awesome place to go to, and I have been there frequently And let's see. Also, check out this weekend with the Battle of the Bands at Gray's Keg. There's also a benefit show at the other side for James Fecht and to help with funeral costs for his father. So we're going to plug the people that support and are friends and do everything that we can to help them out and help them succeed and grow. And I know I'm going to be catching Evil Shadows and Gravestone this year for sure. And we'll just kind of have to see where the weather and everything go from there. So, an hour and 15 minutes in, that's a good time. So, I'm going to go ahead here and get off. I got a couple other things I got to do. So, thanks for tuning in. And until next week, we'll see you then. Pay attention to the Facebook page, it's going to be interesting.